Hello YouTube, I'm David with the David West channel. I always struggle when I try to explain my reasoning on why you never give a proven set to somebody trying to learn friction fire. I have tried it 3 different times in my life, and all 3 times it has done nothing but discourage that person from continuing trying to learn it. If you're going to learn how to be good at hand drill and bow drill, you have to pay your dues. You have to go through the process. You have to go through the hundreds of fails and see what works and what doesn't work. But if you try to bypass that, if you try to give them a shortcut to getting an ember too soon, it will definitely discourage them, because it'll come down hard on them, the realization that, man, I am so far away from learning this. So even though it makes some of my subscribers mad, once or twice a year I purge all the sets that I have. I burn them up, and I get comments like, why didn't you give that to some of your subscribers, or to a kid that's trying to learn? Why didn't you give it to some Boy Scouts? Let's see what we can do here. How about that? I'm going to put the camera back a little bit farther, because this is really going to get high. Did you hang around? Did I make you so mad that you just left and unsubscribed? Good. Let's go ahead and make our next bow drill set. We'll get some of this downed Virginia pine right here. This Virginia pine is on the ground, but it's sort of up on top of other limbs and things, and a lot of the bark is off. The main thing is when you pick something like this, which looks like there's a bunch of dew on this side and dry on that side, it should be all right in the middle. But you don't want wood that is too far gone, too far degraded. So we'll stick my knife point in there and see if it's sound enough to make a bow drill set out of. All right, this part here looks pretty straight. We'll use that for a spindle. Whoa. It's pretty soft. Let me see how it whittles. No, I think that'll be all right. So this can be our spindle. And of course this fat end, let's see if we can break that off. Yeah. That'll work right there for a fireboard. Remember now, don't process up all of your pine knots because they can be used for a bow drill bearing block. This is for a mullein spindle, and this is for a regular bow drill spindle. And I'm going to use it as a baton. There's a problem with this for a fireboard. I don't know if you can see, but there was a round core that came out of there and left that channel. But I'm gonna go ahead and use it anyways. It might help with some airflow. Everything I do is an experiment, just about. Or an experiment inside of an experiment inside of an experiment. I think it'll work, don't you? Let's make the spindle now. Spindle turned out great. Try to keep the glare off of it so you can see some detail. And then there's shadows to deal with. Let's try this angle, and then I'll get in front of the camera too. All right, before we get started, let me show you these 50 pieces of oak bracket fungus that I told you about yesterday that I had just picked up off the ground. A ready supply of coal extender. All right. We just got some Virginia pine straight off the ground. The bark was gone on it, which is good. And it wasn't directly on the ground. It was on top of some other branches, so should be dry enough to go. I was concerned that it might be too soft, and there's actually some punky areas inside that spindle. But overall, I'm thinking this will be an easy ember. Fat wood bearing block, pine needles for a tinder bundle. Here's some more of that. Oh, here's that core right there that I told you made a channel in the bottom of my fireboard. There's that round core. So we'll put that in on the fire. Let's go for the burn-in. We'll make sure my shoestring, make sure that my shoestring does not get caught up in the bowstring. Yes, it has happened before. Now, let's go for the burn-in. Better process up my pine needles so that they'll be ready to go. People forever ask me, what my amber catch is. It's just a piece of black leather that I got from a scrap multi-pack from Hobby Lobby. All right, we're ready to go. Let's see what we can do with it. Probably 70 or 80 strokes. You don't have to count your strokes. That's just something I like to do. It's not about the strokes. It's about what kind of an amber you're forming, and does it need more heat? Does it need more dust? I'm anticipating 70, 80 strokes. But many times I'll just go right to 100 strokes. Looking good. Let's give that a chance to coalesce, a couple of minutes. That turned out beautifully for materials straight off the ground. There's that big groove. We never got into the big groove, did we? Bearing block end held up well too. That fat wood for a bearing block is always going to do a good job, always. Well, the part I just piled up on there just rolled off. Getting a little hot on the hand. There was a through hole right there that usually isn't there. What do you think? That turned out great. So I will not be left without some kind of a bow drill set. And in 6 months, we'll do it all over again. We'll get rid of all the sets that I have accumulated. All right, y'all, do me a favor. Before you leave my channel, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and in that drop-down list, select all. And do give the video a like. I appreciate you joining me on this one. We'll catch you on the next one. No, we're not going out like that after all we've just been through. We'll catch you on the next one.